Alright, so here we are again. This is the fourth Sunbonnet Sue character. Again, as you can see, it's nearly 8 by 8 in the dimensions. This one, she's in a little puddle with her boots on, with rain coming out. So this is going to be done slightly differently, a little bit more embroidery this time. As we usually do, we're going to look at what elements need to go down first, and naturally, yeah, I'm gonna say, well, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna say the boot, right? Okay, so again, beat on the keyboard. Bring that area nice and large. This time I wanted to have black wellies, little black wellies. So I go in black, I go in applique, I'm clicking digitize applique over here. Usual thing is pre-cut. I'm going to do it on my machine, so I don't need a tack down line because I am not cutting it in situ. If I was trimming it in place, then I would want probably a single run or zigzag to use after the cut down, but I don't want it, so I just say none for that because I am doing these as pre-cuts from my machine. I don't want satin, I want blanket, and you know the usual thing, 0.120, these are in inches, and oops, collect it up, 0.80 suits me as with no offset for the cover stitch at all. So that suits me to go ahead with my, so we're all set up, nicely ready to go. Start at one corner, and as usual, we're just gonna quickly outline her boot. Oop. That was, oop. Let's start that again. Didn't go very well there at all, did I? Hit the wrong buttons, all sorts. My, as I said, I'm having a few little problems with my mouse at the moment. But anyway, again, I'm using backspace on my keyboard because I wasn't very happy with that. Up to there and hit enter to finish it all off. So that's fine. So that's going to be a welly down as a nice black applique outline. The next thing that is underneath every single thing is the dress, to be honest with you. I don't know what colour I'm going to do the dress. I'm going to probably this time pick up a pink. Yeah, I'm going to pick up a pink. So again, I will just quickly run round. That's, again, I wasn't quite on the corner. That's what happens if you're not big enough. You're not quite hitting the mark. What I'm digitising at 252 at the moment. I mean, normally I do like to digitise over 300. It will scroll with you. When I'm doing ordinary embroidery, I do like to do it. Whoops, didn't do it right there. I do like to do it nearer 600, to be honest with you. But there we are, we're nearly up to the top, so I can hit enter, and that's the pink done. So that's two bits done, her dress and her other bit. And this time, I am going to give her a different colour sleeve, I think. I was going to do this bit more, yeah, I'm going to do this a little differently. So I'm going to go to my favourite sort of, no, I'm going to go for pink, a lilac. I'm going to take a pale lilac, and I'm going to do a sleeve. As a pale lilac. Alright, so there's the sleeve, and yeah, I am going to do her hand as our usual flesh tone. So I'm just going to pick that up and just run around that. As our usual flesh tone. But is there anything else? I don't think so. No. Now, that's 4 pieces of applique, just 4 pieces. I think I'm going to do, I ought to do, yeah, I'm going to do colours for the umbrella. But before we go there, let's go back to the technique while we're just all in applique that I was trying to show you the other day, which was, I don't want that black line sewing out underneath this pink line. I mean, it will have to be, you know, a slight black line, but I don't need all these stitches, okay? Well, sorry, yeah, that's underneath. So if I hold, I think I'm doing this the right way around. So if I go to pick up the pink, or I'll do it with you, because I'm in that sort of mode. So I just pick up the pink. So I've highlighted that pink dress. No, my bad. I like the black boot. Highlight is a black boot. And I'm coming over here, and you can see this is now highlighted, partial applique. So I'm going to hit partial applique and hit enter. I didn't change a damn thing. And yeah, you should have done. Alright, let's pick the one and pick the other up. And then try partial applique. There we go. Okay, so now can you see I said, well, that's underneath, that's over the top. So I do not want you to do that black stitching that is going to show under the dress. And in the same way, I can't do it yet for the umbrella, but I can do it with the hand. Now the hand is on top of the sleeve. So I can pick up the sleeve, and then holding down shift, I'll pick up the hand and go over here to partial applique, right? And immediately you can see that the bit that was going to be appliqued or blanket stitched, cover stitched, the cover stitch is now missing because we don't want that sewn underneath that hand. Okay, so I'm just showing you a few extra things. Until I do the umbrella, until I do the fabric for the umbrella, because I need the 2 things to do it, but I'm going to do the same and get rid of those stitches under this umbrella as well. So when I've got that done and done that partial applique part, I'm going to just hit save. Alright, so moving on to the umbrella. I've got to think, what colour should I do? Well, I think to myself, I'm on a white background, so we want it fairly bright, don't we? So why don't we do green, gold and red? Yeah, green, gold and red? I think so. Green, gold and red. Yeah, why not? I mean, at the end of the day, you can change this to any colour you fancy. So I'm just going to pick up a nice emerald green down here. Digitize applique. All my settings are the same. I'm going to start. I'm going to bring it up nice and big. Start in this corner, and again, lay down the outside for this applique. My mistake. Come on then, down here we go. Back along. To meet up. Hit enter, and as you can see, that meets up with our green. What did I say? Gold? That'll do as gold for me. So let's do the next segment. Again, I'm going to hit B on my keyboard and bring that piece up nice and big for me. And say, well, starting there, I'm just going to go across a little bit and come down curved fashion, right there. Oop. Right there, and curve it around that, and bring up the applique matching our already stitched line here and hit enter. So now I got my gold, and we said the last one we were going to do a red. We said let's pick up a red in that corner now, all the same thing. Again, hit B on my keyboard, bring that up nice and big for myself, and move him right from there. So I don't want to, no, go back, too much of a stretch. When you're laying down these points, the less nodules you put in, the smoother the line. But if you go stretch too far with the nodules, you will go off your target. Yeah? So, you know, there's a bit of what you can get away with and what you can't. But the less nodules, the smoother the line. Alright, so that's the red. So let's come back out. So now I've got green, red and gold. And I put that down in exactly the same fashion as we have the dress. But what I want to do some more things, but for now let's deal with what we have got. So again, as I said to you, I'm going to pick up the green, pick up the yellow, and pick up the pink, and come over here and say partial. We did it on the one. Let's just pick up the yellow and pick up the pink and say partial on that. We didn't like it's switching from one to the other now, isn't it? If I pick up the green and pick up the pink and say partial, and then the other bit comes back. You see how it's jumping from one to the other, right? All right. Well, okay. Let's undo where the stitches were here but not there. All right. And I think what I need to do now is well, I don't want to group them. I think what I will do is take a view as I would rather the pink stitches be under the green than I would them be under the yellow, because they're going to be more noticeable under the yellow than they are under the green, right? So that I'm quite satisfied to say, well, that's what I will do. That's how I'll leave it then. Okay. So that's all my applique done now. Laid down all the fabric first. So now let's see what else we need to deal with. Well, I'm going to pick up a wood colour and I'm going to go to digitize, and I'm going to go to fill, and close shape and fill, and I am going to press B on my keyboard and bring up, wrong bit, beg your puddings, and bring up that bit nice and clear. Okay. And I'm going to say, well, alright, what sort of fill do I want? It satin or embossed or tatami? I think I want it tatami, and I want to pick up a wood type tatami. So wood's got a grain in it that usually runs, well, it can run all over the place, can't it? I think I'll have it run, as it's small, I'll have it run like that. So now I'm just going to do my fill, as you would anything else. There. Oh, red, really red. I don't think so. So let's pick that up and say, no, I wanted you brown, you little sod. Right. Okay, so click off of that and come back out and press a naught, come back out. So now I've got, can you see it's got a little bit of, even at well, it's 93, if I put it up to 100%, you can see that it looks as if it's got a bit of wood grain going through it. Yeah, which is what I would like. So it's showing as if it's got, you know, it's texturized a little bit. And then, consequently, press B on my keyboard, and I'm going to bring up this section because I want to work with this, and I think I'm going to leave everything the same as it was, and again, close shape, I am going to just follow across the top, and I'm paying attention now that I'm following my stitch line around. Can you see? That needs to be a square point. So I'm following it around. Oops, that wasn't very good. I don't want it fatter than it should be. So let's come back. Let's use my mouse wheel to bring it up a little bit closer. Now I'm at 600%. So now you see what I'm saying is when I do embroidery, I do bring it up far larger, because you have to be a little bit more precise when you're doing flat on and hit enter. Flat on embroidery. Again, it's red, God knows why. Here we go. Let's pick it up then and come back and say, no, I wanted that brown, if you don't mind. And that is the same wood handle type thing. Again, you have the options. As it's selected, you can go to reshape, which brings up your well, obviously if you've got slight points, let me just bring this nice and big. If you've got slight points that are out of sync, you see, you can move them. Also, while we're here, if you don't like the angle or dangle, so to speak, you have the opportunity within the same stitch to just change that angle of stitching to what you may consider, let's do naught, move out, what you may consider to be, and I'll hit select so I come off of, yeah, you may consider to look a bit more bark-like, look a bit more wood-like for a handle. It's entirely up to you. It depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. But I'm just showing you how you can, even though you've picked the same stitch as the one above you, just by changing, if I go back in, just by changing the stitch angle, you change the overall look of the stitch. There's so many possibilities of what you can do. Now, let's press naught and get it back in the middle. This time, before I go any further, I lost my mouse, it was over on the other screen. I got two screens here, one over there, so sometimes I lose my mouse because I'm not even looking at the right television. But anyway, so I'm going to take a minute, I'm going to show you something else now. You should have it on hatch. I have it on mine, and you should have it on hatch. I am going to press M on my keyboard, just the letter M. Now, oh, maybe it's because, let me just bring that up bigger. Press B and bring that up bigger, okay? Then I'm going to press M. There, now that's what I wanted it to do. Can you see how here I am, can you see my cursor has got a little tape ruler next to it? You see it's got a little ruler, yeah? So I can now look at what I want to cover, which is the width of that stitch to the width of that stitch. And that's telling me that that is, sorry, I'll just move it before I click it, 1.88 inches wide, okay? It doesn't matter what the angle is, to be honest. Well, it's at 167%, but that is telling me that if I wanted to cover up from there to there, yeah, it's roughly was 180. I would say 180 will do it, or 185, whatever you like. But 185 inches is going to cover that up. Now I wanted to know that, so I'm going to escape off of there now, and I'm going to escape again so I get rid of my ruler, yeah? Now I want to come over, because I want to do, if you wanted to, this is entirely up to you. I mean, I like it once I've done it, but I thought I might do a cover-up stitch on here, and I might pick, digitize an open shape, so that is basically a line, in a motif run, so I'm going to pick something that's nice, and I'll go to Fill, no, I don't want Fill Designs, I'll go to M Gallery again, and I'm going to make it big, and I'm actually I'm going to pick this up and bring it over here, and then I am able to make it really big. You see, I told you they were detachable, so now I can, you know, I got a much better overview of my pattern gallery. So I'm going to look at this and say, well, I want something that's going to give me a good pattern, that's going to cover up the stitches below it, and, you know, give me something nice. What sort of thing would I think I may have going down? Oh, I think that one. You see that one there? I think I might pick that one. So I'm going to pick that one up and say, get off there, right? Now, I'm going to draw my line because that's what I'm on, that, and I'm on digitize open shape, and it will be a line. So now I can go, and obviously I bring it up nice and big, so I'm trying to be centralized from here and draw my line straight down the middle of these two threads. Yeah? All the way to the bottom. And that's again, it's in red. Keep forgetting to change the colour. But I want to do this in black because I want to tie in her boots. Yeah? Now, as you remember, we said, well, hang on a moment, we measured this. The width actually was, I just put it 1.185. Okay? Remember, because we measured it, and that's what we got. So I'm going to hit enter, and it's got bigger. But, it's come out. Is it covering it? Well, it kind of is. I mean, you can still see the stitch for the yellow. Yeah, you could, and the brown. Yeah. No, that should have been green. What's going on here? You should have been emerald green. You've got to watch yourself. They do move, right? So, it's now giving it like an added feature. And I'm tying the umbrella in with the black boots. I'm trying to bring some unity to the picture, if you understand what I'm saying. So now again, I will go to black. The little sod doesn't want to go to black. Let me just save this. I've saved it for ages. Well, I'll do it in red and change it after because that's the way it seems to want to go at the moment. So I'm going to say digitize close shape in black if it'll change for me. No, it won't. So I'm just going to say, oh, well, sod you then. And I'm going to do it as a open shape. And I'm still on that motif, so will it change to black? No, it won't. No, you know, sometimes it has this funny 5 minutes where it won't do it. So again, I'm carefully going to run down the middle of there. My stitch has returned to 0.157, but doesn't matter. Hit enter. It's red. Now go black, please, because that's what I want. Yes, you've gone black. And now I want, as I said, what did I say? Can't remember. Now, if you can't remember, that's fine. Pick up the one above it, right click, copy object properties, pick one below it, right click, and apply object properties, and it will just do exactly what it did last time. Okay? So now I've got this black line. I may not like it at the end of the day, but I'm just showing you the possibilities of how you can enhance something like an umbrella on the seam line. Okay, so again I'm going to go up there and hit save. Now what else have we got to do? We've got the rain and we got the puddle, haven't we? Now here I wanted to introduce something new. So while I know that my actual program is not running true, I am just going to shut it down, not shut the program down, just close this Sunbonnet Rain, bring her back up, and then I know that the program will work for me. I just want to go back a step now because it just suddenly dawned on me, because, you know, sometimes when you don't use these techniques for a while, they kind of do become a little elusive until, you know, kind of thing. Remember, we had this problem here where if I picked up the yellow, it would clear the stitches. If I picked the green, it would clear the stitches, but it wouldn't do both of them. And I was thinking about this, and I thought, yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do now. So what I'm going to do, see this applique over here, which are all the parts. I hold down Shift and pick up all of the parts of the umbrella, right click, and I am going to group them, okay? Then I can pick them up as a group, then I can pick up the dress, then I can go partially remove, and bingo, now you can see it's removed it under all the segments, okay? So now we're happy. So that was a review on using that partial applique. When you've got more than one applique piece, you need to group it first. And that had eluded me for a moment. Right, so let's moving on now. So what's the next thing we got to do? Well, the only things left to do are the raindrops and this big puddle. Okay. So let's have a think. So I think the thing that we really want to tackle next is this puddle, okay? So I'm hitting B on my keyboard, and I am just going to bring that up nice and big for me. Now, again, I'm going to go to digitize. I'm going to do this embroidery. You, if you wanted to, there's a few ways of tackling this. You could, you could lay the puddle down first in blue applique, alright? Do these as straight line embroidery stitches over the top to create the puddle effect, okay? Then start with the boot, the dress and everything else we've done. So you could do that as your first step and lay that down as blue material as a puddle. Do the embroidery over the top before you start the whole thing. But I was thinking of doing it a different way, of doing it as embroidery and introducing you to a new stitch. So I'm going to go digitize a close shape. This will be a close shape, alright, and it will be a fill. So at the moment I'm leaving it on tatami, which is not what I want, but I'm leaving it there because I just want, and I'm bringing it up nice and big so I can see where I'm going, so I know that I am following the outline nice and clear. I'm going left-handedly really here, but I'm following the outline nice and carefully around. The entire puddle as a fill. See, if I went to there to there, it wouldn't be right, so just bringing it back. You get to sort of learn by touchy-feely when it is going to work and when it's not going to work. I'm following around the shape of the boot, alright? And there is where I started, so I'm going to hit enter. Oh, it happens to be on black. Didn't think about that, did I? Well, that's fine. Pick it up, and I said, well, no, actually, I want that nice blue. So there we are. Now, I'm going to roll back out and hit naught so I can see it. So, you know, that's, well, you know, that's a big tatami stitch out, but that's not what I want. So now, having got the stitch out picked up, over here, can you see on this side now, we've got what is called a contour line. And again, like everything else, once we've laid something down, we can change it. Now, can you see how that has contoured it? So, not quite the way I want, because I don't want that bit. But as I say, there's always something we can do about that. Number one, this is quite dense, isn't it? Which is not what I wanted. So first of all, I am going to, with it selected, I'm going to come over here and say I want the spacing to be much bigger than that. I want it to be at least 0.2. Wow, can you see? Yeah. So that's really opened it up. Not enough for me. I'm going to say no. Actually, I want that to be 0.4, twice as big. There. Now, can you see? All right. Now I know you're thinking, well, hang on, whoa, because some of this is under a boot and everything else. Well, yes, it is. But why would that be? That would be because we need to reshape the contour. Yeah. All right. So I'm just looking where I can move my stitch angle to make this work. Actually, that's quite... Oh, moved it. Where was I? I had it just right. Oh, how did I move that? No, that wasn't it. No. How did I have it? Sometimes you miss it and it's gone. Let's go the other way then. I did have it just right. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the undo steps and stop it when I saw it. There, that's pretty good, because you see how we've got these curved lines both sides. I know it's going underneath her, but we've got these curved lines that are emulating ripples from the centre. Okay, now also, so I'm just going to save that there in case I accidentally move it. Go back to select. Okay, so still on select, and I know this is underneath the black boot now, but I'm going to go to stitching. And no, stitch angle. Oh, no, that's not what I want. So back to fill. It's not giving me an awful lot, is it? On that. I quite like it. Of course, this is over the top of the boot because it's the last thing being stitched. So I could now take this up to the top. So that's the first thing being stitched. Then pick up a boot and pick up the puddle and come over here to a plique, which would give me edit objects, probably. What am I looking for? No. Digitize. I want remove overlaps. Advanced digitize. Well, there it is, remove overlaps. I'm just going to pick up the stitching. No, I'm just going to pick up the boot. Trying to see which one allows me to do it. Oh. No. No. I'm going to undo. That's not really working for me, so I'm going to switch the contour stitch over to a ripple stitch. Alright, again I am going to make this much bigger, 0.4. Okay, I'm even going to make it even bigger. I'm going to say 0.8. That's better. Now that's more of a puddle effect, isn't it? Yeah? So now, I'm going to reshape. I'm going to bring the length of stitches down to 0.60. Alright? No, didn't help me. I'm going to undo that. Did not help me. Oh, what can I do? I think, in all honesty, the best thing for me to do here, rather than mess about too much, is I'm going to take that stitch and actually sew it as the first thing I sew down, right? So let me just show you. If I take the boot and go to plique fabric and fill it in, colour black, okay, yeah? So you can see her boot, now if I pull out, her boot is going to be like causing that ripple effect underneath her, okay? I think that's what I'm going to do. Which is why sometimes it's a good idea to colour in your applique so you can see what's actually going to happen. Alright? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the dress went brown when I wanted it lilac, so I don't know how that happened. Just picked that up again, and it was lilac, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do there. Now the other thing I want to do now, so that's right, that's the first thing that gets laid down before a boot gets put over the top of it. Okay, that's me puddle. And I could fiddle with it a bit more, but I think that displays a puddle to me as best as I can. So the next thing I want to do now, again in digitize, and this is going to be a closed shape digitize, and I am going to do it in this lovely blue, which has now changed that corner, so I know I got the blue, and I am hitting B on my keyboard, and I'm going to start off with this raindrop, bring it up nice and big. See how big that is now? Now I got this raindrop is reporting to me about 730%, so it's nice and big, and I want it satin, thank you very much, and it's going to be a closed shape. Yeah, got all that going for me. Just start here with a right click. It's like a little teardrop, so we're going to go around and do it as a teardrop. Alright, and hit enter. Now can you see the angle is like this? So if I go up to reshape and bring up the angle, yeah, I can change the angle, of course I can, yeah, but no, it's not really going to work for me. So I'm going back to select, so it's just back in normal mode, select it again, and I'm going to say what I want to do this time, the effect that I want to use, is I want a radial fill. Alright, so I'm going to go radial fill. Now you see this big hole comes up. Right. Well, number one, I'm going to say I don't want the old to be 0.10. I want it to be 0.5. 0.05. Yes, there's and the other bit as well. 0.05. So that's a smaller hole to deal with. Yeah. But can you see, before I move the hole, because I can in a minute, that is where you're getting the stitches are radiating out from the centre of that hole, which is very helpful when you're doing things like flowers and things like that. So now I've got it selected, I'm going to go up to reshape, and now you can see it gives me the opportunity of making this hole bigger or changing the definition of the hole. Yeah, so I could make it more teardrop shaped, but I'm going to pick up the centre of that hole and put it above, or just right on the teardrop. No, maybe not. But it comes from the sky, doesn't it, a teardrop? So if I say, well, this is coming down, let's take the whole, let's go back to select, click off it and go back to the whole picture, yeah? Bring it in a little bit. Now can you see, before, if I went to, select, and reshape, it shows me where I've put the radiating point of that teardrop, yeah, and I'll just come out of that again and hit select. So now you can see that although the wind is blowing it this way, gravity is pulling it down that way, so that is more a realistic teardrop sew out, yeah. So this is how you would begin to use something called radial fill, okay? This radial fill, all right? So that's one. Now, I am going over here and I'm right-clicking it and I'm going to say duplicate, and I'm going to say duplicate, and I'm going to say duplicate. So now, how many have I got? I got 4, haven't I? Now, I'm just going to click off it. They're all there, all 4 are on top of one of each other at the moment. But I'm going to I'm going to press Naught, so I'm centered in my picture, and I'm going to just take, some of these are different sizes, but some of them are the same size. So I just made 4. Now I would say that probably if I take 1, that's about the same size, so I just copied that over there, yeah? Well, to be honest with you, I think that that's about the same size, same angle, same drift, yeah? So, yeah, that's going to be over there. That's 3. I got another 1, haven't I? Where's another one that I think is about the same? Well, to be honest with you, I could do with another one. So let's say, first off, that's about the same. Yeah, so I'm going to shove it there. And I am just going to go and duplicate that again. So I've got a 5th one. And I'm going to pick that up and say, well, you're going to fit there, mister. Yeah? Now, it could possibly fit there. And, well, that's a bit fatter. But so it's entirely up to you. You need something to be a bit of a different size. So if we just hit B on the keyboard and look at this particular one, and we got blue, we are digitizing a closed shape as a fill, as satin, yeah. So we can just hit our rounded points and hit enter, yeah. And I'm just going to look at the effects and come down to Radial Fill and click on Radial, well, pick it up. Where are you, you little bugger? Well, what I can do is pick the one up above it, and as we said before, is copy object properties, pick the one up beneath it and say apply object property. So immediately we'll apply the same object properties as we had on the larger ones, yeah? So basically, just continue that until you've, you know, filled in every raindrop, even if they're different sizes, but just use the copy object properties and apply object properties so that they are all forming in the same stitch pattern. Okay? Alright, so I've had once over this now. Let me just click off of that, yeah? And I don't think, to be honest, this is quite suiting me. There's a few things. I'm looking at it now, you know, because once you sort of lay down all the stitches, then you've got an opportunity of reviewing your own work and thinking, well, hang on a minute, Moo. I don't like it, right? And I don't like the heaviness of it, considering the Sunbonnet Sues we've done before. I feel that this black boot is too much for me, so I'm going to go and change a few things. So I'm going to go and pick up the black boot. I'm going to go to applique fabric and just say, well, white on that, okay? So now it's gone back to how it was normally, yeah? I don't like it. I don't like the black and the black here. I really don't like it. And I don't want the black fabric actually underneath this dress, which is no changed. It was pink. Oh, gee me. Sometimes I wonder. So I want it pink. And I wanted the arm lilac. That was my original view. I don't want, so now I'm going to come down and I'm just going to pick up the boot and say, no, it's too heavy. I am going to go and pick up this gold colour. So now I have changed the stitching on the boot to a gold colour, okay? And I'm going to go up and I'm going to pick up the two black lines that we made, yeah? Whoops. Hold down shift, pick them both up, and I'm going to say no, I want that to be gold as well, because I still want to tie it in with the boot below, but also now I don't like the motif. I don't like it, so I'm going back to my embroidery gallery and I'm going to look at it, and I think I want, let me get it up and big and proud, and I'm going to pick up something that I think will work better for me. I don't know quite what I want. Not sure. Maybe you can find what I want. Do you know? I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably that one. Yeah, see, so that's more, that is better. Yeah, and again, I can increase. It's all highlighted, so I can increase that to 0.185. Yeah, that's better. But now, can you, if I pull up at that, well, that's not too heavy. But it might be too heavy actually. That's fine, because I can go to, I'm on the motif, yeah. Whew. Let's see what I can do. If I pick it up, both of them again, yeah. And I get the stitch in, jump, minimum stitch, jump length stitch. Not an awful lot, no, there's not an awful lot I can do about that. Let's come back to Aaron. So I guess, I think I'm going to go with that, actually. So I got, I still think it's too thick. I really do. I go back to my M gallery and looking again. Bring it up. Now, I like it, but it's too fat and thick. I don't want it. I want it to be good. Let's try that. Right. Alright, so let's pick them up. I just picked them up before. And try what I just looked at, which was... Which one was it? Oh, let's make it bigger. I picked it up and I said, ooh, that one. There! Now that's not such a heavy stitch. Yeah? If I come off it, and if I press B on my keyboard, so I can bring it up loud and proud, yeah? Yeah. And I'm also going to go and make it, actually, I'm going to make it slimmer. I'm going to say, apart from, it's 1.5 9 boxed in now, and I'm gonna reduce that and say I don't want that. I want 0.120. See what that looks like. Oh, I haven't picked up the ready stitches. Let me pick it up so I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to say 0.1120. Yeah. That's lighter, but it's still a design, isn't it? Do you see what I'm saying? It's still a design, and it's still... I'm still not happy. Do you know what? I'm still not happy. I'm still not, you know, this is what happens sometimes. You think, oh, yeah, I like it, but then, no, I don't. No, I'm not happy. I want something slimmer. I changed my mind altogether now. I want something smooth. Not too boxy. I want something... I'm looking at that now. Right? And yet again, I'm going to smooth that in. I know I wanted it big before, but now I don't want it big. I don't mind about the height, but I don't want the width. I want the width to be 120. Oh, no, 120. Yeah, 120. How does that look? Is that tying it in better? Let's press 0. Oh, off. Let's put the spacing back at 120 as well. Oh, help if I collected them up. Right, let's put the spacing at 120 as well, because that's bugging me. Oh, hello. 0.120. Is that better? Still too wide, isn't it? Well, it's not actually. It's not, because it is hiding. Still seems a bit thick to me. I'm at 100%. So yeah, to me it still seems a bit too thick. So again, let's pick them up. Pick them up and say, I want 0.80. Now I'm getting more reasonable, don't you think? Now I'm getting more reasonable. Yeah. Could you see how that, all of a sudden that became more reasonable to me? I wanted to tie in with the gold boot, yeah, and that all of a sudden became more proportional to the size of the umbrella. That just made it for me then. So I'm happy now. I'm much happier than I was 5 minutes ago. Let me just click off that. Much happier. Now the next thing obviously I want to do is press D, which gets rid of the underlying, I got this boot coloured in as white because I wanted to change it from black, but yeah, now I'm much happier that yeah, I'm much happier with that. Yeah, I am. A little bit of gold colour or yellow or goldy colour would tie a boot in with the yellow. The yellow, because remember this segment is yellow, yeah. So yeah, it's all, that's working for me much better than it was before. So now I'm ready to save the whole thing, which is my EMB file, Rain EMB, which I got one before, but I'm saving it over the top, saving it. Yeah, happy with that. I want to replace it. Yes, of course I do. And also now I'm ready to export it for JPF1 save. I've done one before, so yes, I'm going to overwrite that. That's my cutting file now for my studio, which is Silhouette Studio file, so that's going to give me my cutting outlines. And obviously when I get my thumbnail over here, I will be saving it to my thumbnail. I don't know what the hoop is, so I'll just plop my hoop on, and before I save it for my hoop file, I will just press Control A, which picks up absolutely everything, come down to layout, auto center to work area and hit enter. Yeah, so now I know that, and I'll save it again, because now I know, as an EMB, yeah, I got one, save again. Yeah, overwrite it, because now I know that she's dead center of my 220 or 8-inch hoop. Yeah, so I always kind of double check myself before I'm ready to put it on my thumbnail and know that it's absolutely correct. Okay, so there we are. So that's that one done, ready to go cut and then stitch out. Anyway, well, thank you for watching this. I'm hoping this is helping you, and if you look at the first 4 or 5 videos I did on the first 2 Sunbonnet Sues, I go an awful lot slower, but I am going a bit quicker now, because if you've followed the series, then you should be now up to speed and with me. Yeah, okay, thanks very much.